Okay, guys, so today we are going to talk about red light stories and growth-oriented action. So red light stories, let's kind of get into what that is and what that means. Red light stories basically is the narrative or the story that is negative that you are telling yourself around anything. This can be anything that you're going through. So maybe it's, I can't talk to people. I don't know enough people to do this business. I'm not a good leader, so I can't do the business. People won't buy from me. People are going to laugh at me if they find out that I'm doing direct sales. All of these are red light stories. And basically it's a form of self-sabotage is what it is. When you really, really think about it, you're just self-sabotaging your future, your goals, where your definition of success, right? So, we want to get on the path of slowing down and recognizing these red light stories, slowing down and recognizing when we are having that negative self-talk, when we are, telling ourselves a narrative that just really isn't the truth, or maybe doesn't even come close to being correct or what we really, really do believe. So that's what we want to dive into today, is really understanding where this is coming from and, really focusing on that whole idea of the red light stories that we create and the idea of self-sabotaging. And instead of really taking in those narratives and thinking about those and allowing them to become part of us, changing that narrative, stopping that. So slowing down, instead of that whole idea of hustling harder, slowing down and taking a look at where these red light stories are coming from. And really, it boils down to boundaries, having boundaries within your business, having boundaries within your life, to settle back in, take some time, explore what's going on in your head, because that is going to lead to the personal growth that you're going to need. If you think about the red light stories that we have around sales, we might say, I never knew, I never know what the right thing to say is. I don't consider myself a salesperson. And so we resist the word of sales. But really, guys, when it boils down to it, think about it. You're selling all day long, right? Like when I decide that I need a dress for something, I go to my husband, I'm explaining all the reasons why I need this dress for XYZ. I'm selling him on the idea of how important it is for me to get the dress. When I am talking to my kids and explaining they need to clean their rooms for XYZ, I'm selling them on the idea of cleaning their rooms. We're doing this all day long. When you're having coffee with a girlfriend or having lunch with a girlfriend and you're trying to explain your point of view on anything, you're selling your idea. So really, when you kind of think about it, all day long, we're in that sales mode. So sometimes it's just that little shift in the way that you see your or view your position within Lavelle and this business that you're growing. So, kind of keep in mind that red light stories do serve a good purpose, because on the other side of red light stories is personal growth. Personal growth is right behind getting control of that red light story. It can lead you absolutely on that path. So right on the other side of the red light story is growth-oriented action. If you are using the red light story to grow your mind space and understand how to get control of all your thoughts that are going on inside of your head. The things we fear the most, when we decide to push past them, they become the catalyst of our personal growth. So think that through. Like, think about years ago when you've traveled a rough road, you've been through a hard season. What's come out of that? When you've traveled that, and out of that typically is incredible personal growth from a lot of yucky, crappy stuff. And really, we're going to call them GOAs, growth-oriented actions, are focused, intentional actions that are aligned with your purpose and your vision. So we've been trying to get real clear on purpose and vision through understanding personal definition of success. So understanding really what your purpose and your vision is for your life. And if you are a Thrive promoter, we're including that as part of your life. So you want to focus on the quality of the actions instead of the quantity. So in this whole idea of hustle harder, and I am absolutely to blame for teaching this because I taught it for a lot of years, and I learned it from the CEOs of our company, and I learned it from mentors in the network marketing industry. But it's that hustle harder, push harder, reach out. If you've reached out to 10 people and you haven't gotten any results, then you need to reach out to 20. If you've put out 2 posts in a day and you're not getting people responding to your Facebook post, then put out 3 posts a day. If you're not getting responses on your 1 reel a day, then you better be doing 3 reels a day. It's that hustle harder, instead of slowing down and looking at the quality of our actions. And I'm not saying spend forever on your social media posts. That's not what I'm saying. So don't hear that. I mean, when you think about social media, just know that a C+ gets you through. A C+ gets you people looking at your stuff. You don't need A+ posts all the time. But I'm talking about more of the reach outs, of the birthday reach outs, of connecting with samplers, those type of things. What is the quality that's going into that? What are the questions that you're asking people? You know, if you're sending out birthday message after birthday message after birthday message, remember that worked 2 years ago for us. Remember how 2 years ago we were like singing happy birthday and people were and we were saying, hey, just like Sephora and Gap, I want to make sure that you are getting the best birthday experience ever. So I'm going to send you something free. And we sent out a lot of samples. I then continued doing that, and that just all of a sudden stopped because everybody started doing it. It became like a thing, and people are like, I don't want your free stuff. Like, this is weird. So we have to change that action to make it more quality. So when you're thinking about birthdays, are you getting into somebody's Facebook page and looking through what have they been doing? Are you getting into conversations with them? Or are you just sending happy birthday? Hope it's a great day. It's the deeper conversations. It's the quality of the reach out that is going to give you the results that you want. So growth-oriented actions are the key to long-term sustainable success in your business. So we need to stop focusing on, or stop being results focused and start becoming growth focused. Purposeful. We need to be purposeful in taking action so we can grow instead of gaining results. So, you know, we used to teach, and I mean, it's still being taught everywhere, you know, is take action for a result, take action for a result. But where's the growth in that? Where has there been growth in that? Or are you sitting stuck? You know, we can keep going through the actions. We can keep doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 every single day and stay consistent with that. But after a while, it's results and it's not making a difference. So let's talk a little bit about income producing activities to growth oriented actions. We're talking about transactional to transformational. Our goal is to become transformational. Our goal is to make an impact. You know, after the last session that we did, hopefully you all are on the same page, because I said, if you're not buying into what I'm sharing, then this might not be the group for you. But really the idea behind it all was, I want to impact people's lives in so many different levels. But that's the goal, right? To impact people's lives. And so if we're being transactional and just doing IPAs for the fun of it, for results, we're not impacting any lives. But if you're thinking about it as a growth-oriented action, which is all set around mindset, then we're being transformational. And that is what's going to impact other people's lives. So has this happened to you where you've run, and you've hit a rank and woohoo, celebrate, only to find out the next month you lose the rank and you are struggling like crazy to get back to that rank? Chances are you're being transactional. Chances are you were doing everything for the result of that rank, and you weren't ready to lead at that rank. You weren't deserving of that rank because you did not have any growth to get to that rank. Because you've been transactional, you never grew into the person that could support the level of achievement and success. Transformational causes you to have that growth, to become that person and earn that space in that level of growth. And we can call it whatever we want within our company. We can call it a rank. We can call it, this many people underneath us or whatever, but really it's overall arching. I mean, all of us are looking in some respect to be some type of leader because we want to impact people's lives. The whole idea of being transactional is all just short-term. It just is. Like, I mean, I've seen it over and over and over in almost 7 years of people racing to a goal or a rank and then falling back and never being able to hit that rank again because they've realized, oh, this was short-term results because I was transactional. I never made those growth-oriented actions to change. So your results and your income will always come back to your level of personal growth. So the bottom line is you've got to become aware that this is what is that these are the things that are holding us back. Being transactional, these red light stories are what are holding us back. Any negative feeling you have in your business comes from some type of red light story around that situation, circumstance, or action. Any negative feeling. So, if you kind of think about it, when you first jumped into this business, you ran, you just did it. You just posted on social media. You just told everyone about the Thrive experience because you were ignorance on fire. And then somebody said no. And then somebody called it a pyramid scheme. And then somebody laughed at you. And then your upline was a jerk. And then somebody left your team and told you they didn't like you. And all of these things started building up and creating these red light stories that we never processed through, that we never took action on. And they've created a residence in our head. They've created space and are taking up space. So then when we go to do IPAs, nothing's happening because there's been no growth, because we have not created growth and turned that red light story into personal growth. So if you can tune into that fear and think about exactly what that red light story is and where the fear is coming from, because it's just fear-based, that's bottom line. That is when the personal growth happens. Personal growth always precedes business growth. You should write that down. Personal growth always precedes business growth. And my favorite part of this whole thing is your business is really just a personal growth program with a comp plan attached. If you think about it that way, I think about the personal growth that has happened in my life over the past 7 years. And I think about it as, it was a personal growth program with a comp plan attached, has been pretty significant. Like crazy significant. So the problem is that fear is taking over in us. And that happens over and over and over. It happens in life in general. And so if you could kind of recognize that fear is taking over and we are believing the red light stories, the narratives that are going on in our head, we're going to get trapped in our comfort zone. So we get real comfortable sending out the birthday messages. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. Happy birthday. Hope you have something fun planned. Or maybe you're like me and you've taken a little step further and you've said, happy birthday. Do you have anything fun planned? Yeah, we're going out for dinner and going to see our best friends tonight. Oh, that's great. Have fun. The end. There has been no transformation in that. It's been all transactional. And it's coming from a place of comfort zone. And the comfort zone is because we're living in some type of fear from a red light story that has happened in our head. So why do we feel fear around certain actions in our business? Something to kind of think through. Typically, it's because those actions lay outside of the comfort zone or an experience that you're willing to go through. So for instance, I'll share reels. A lot of us sit back and go, I can't do reels the way that other leaders are doing reels. So I just can't do it. I see others do the reels and they're really funny, but I know I'm going to look stupid. If I do reels, then, people are going to laugh at me. They're going to think that this is ridiculous that I'm doing the reels, or, they're just not me. I'm just not a reels girl. I'm just not going to do reels. They're not for me. Or how about focusing on sales or, conversations within your business? Nobody's really interested. I've talked to everybody I know. No one wants to buy from me. I'm really not a good leader, so I really can't bring anybody else on. We get stuck in that. And basically, stuck just means that we're not growing. That's the bottom line. So we need to see our red light stories for what they are, recognize them, write them down. So incredibly important to write them down and realize that the red light stories are not against us. They really are for us, as long as we're willing to take the action after we recognize the red light story. So really, a red light story can be a good thing. I always say that it's not good or bad. It's just information. The red light story is just information of stuff that's going on in our head. It's what are we going to do with that information? We need to get it out by writing it down. And then we need to figure out, what are we going to do to change it? How are we going to create a growth-oriented action outside of that red light story? A red light story is just an opportunity for growth. And growth isn't easy. I understand. Growth is not easy. Les Brown says, if you do what is easy in life, your life is going to be hard. Kind of think about that. Like, think about people around you that are just kind of trying to be easy. Like, oh, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Everything's just going to be easy. I'm not going to work really hard. I'm not going to, step up for a promotion at work or any of that. They live hard lives. They live paycheck to paycheck. They live in unhappy marriages and kids that are unhappy because they aren't willing to stop the red light stories and create growth-oriented action and do the hard work that it takes. So we need to recognize the red light stories. And I'm going to share a red light story of mine for you. My red light story was wrapped more recently around reels. I did not want to do them. I thought no one wants to see a 45-year-old lady dancing and no one wants to see me pointing at the stupid little bubbles that come up, and they're dumb. Like, this is dumb. I'm not going to do it. It's cute for Yorkies. Like, I love to watch little Yorkies, but not cute for me. And so I created this red light story in my head. And then Kendra Morse said to me, yeah, no, you're going to do them. You are going to do 2 today. This was back in February. I was at her house and I realized, oh, they aren't that bad. I put up the 2 and the first one had like 3,000 views and I was so excited and I got new followers and I went, oh my goodness. Like, I had created this red light story that people would think I'm being ridiculous and that this is dumb. And really, it's been kind of fun. Like, I've had fun doing it. I kind of have fun, like, figuring out which one I'm going to do and to the fun music. And I've even stepped out of my comfort zone more. And I've recorded some that are my own audio and I'm just talking. And I've recorded some that are even a little bit further out where I'm talking a little bit more about boundaries. And people are responding. People are interested. And I've gained like 250 followers and probably even more than that because, some people fall off, which, I've talked a lot in my reels about Thrive and the business and the products and all of that. And so, people are going to fall off and they're not my people. It's fine. But still, I'm gaining traction with that and gaining followers with that. And that's cool. Like, that's exciting. So, growth is facilitated by facing fears. And that was it. I just had to face my fear. It was really forced upon me. But I faced it. And I did it. And now I've had growth from it. But keep in mind, sometimes that growth-oriented actions aren't working anymore. And so we can let's take the reels example again. If you are somebody who is super comfortable doing reels and you're dancing and doing the reels and pointing at the bubbles and all of that's going fine, and you're realizing, man, I'm really not bringing in followers very much anymore. People aren't commenting. I'm not in conversation with the leads that are coming in from these. There isn't growth anymore. Maybe it's time to just tweak it. those growth oriented actions, we can just tweak just a little bit. Maybe it's time for you to go with your own audio and share 30 seconds of something, and again, it has to be authentic. You have to be authentic when you're doing it. If it's not your jam to talk about boundaries, don't do it because you see me as a leader talking about boundaries. It has to be authentic to you. So to go to the next level, you have to grow to become the person who deserves the next level. So if you've struggled with a red light story that you don't deserve to be at the next level, whatever that level looks like for you, maybe that red light story, you need to write it down and say, okay, obviously I need to take some personal growth action to get to the next level. Again, let's go back to personal growth always comes before business growth. All right, let's see. Okay, what will this look like for you? What are the conversations or actions that you are resisting? Are you not focusing enough on sales and actually having conversations with people about Thrive? Are you needing to be asking better questions? Are we needing to dig deeper onto what people need? Are you willing to ruffle a few feathers when somebody says, I don't need vitamins? Are you digging deeper and questioning why they feel that way? That's where you're going to make the impact. Is it reels? Do you need to start doing reels? Is it prospecting your warm market? Let's talk about prospecting the warm market right now. So lots of people say, oh, I talk to people that I know and, they said no. So I'm just going to go onto social media and post, and I'm going to do all cold market stuff. And I don't want to talk to my people. That comes from a space of weakness and fear. So if you're afraid of talking to people, start talking to people. If you are afraid of doing reels, start doing reels. We have to step out of the fear-based mentality and move into growth. If you're comfortable, you are not growing. I can guarantee you that. If you're comfortable, if you're sitting back and you're like, I'm hitting 12K and I'm really good with that. I'm just good getting my auto bonus every single month. And that's really great. And you're in this comfort zone, you're not growing. That might be fine for you, but you're certainly not growing. So you need to find the thing that scares you. What scares you? What makes you tremble and get that feeling? That's what you need to do. So identifying your red light stories and moving past them and taking goal-oriented actions. And lean into it. Stop resisting the fears. Goal-oriented actions start out as growth, but then sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not growth anymore. And so that's when we need to repackage it. Personal growth precedes business growth over and over. So repackage, tweak, make those changes that you need to make. And always make sure that you're being authentic. I already said that, but I want to repeat it again. GOAs are oftentimes IPAs. But it's how we kind of package it in our head. So for example, what determines if it's a GOA or an IPA? It's managing your mindset around the action. So we need to slow down. It goes against all the things that we have learned over the years for all of you who have been around for a while and been on that hustle harder and this side hustle and working harder, and great things come to those who hustle. And we need to slow down and create space and time to really get present with what's going on in our minds. And that's going to take writing it down, journaling, processing through, whether you're processing through with a spouse, a best friend, an upline, a sideline, somebody that you can process through those red light stories that are going on in your heads. Managing your mind is just tuning into your thoughts and stories that we're telling ourselves. That's all it is. So we're just slowing down and thinking about what is going on in our head when we are doing any type of action, especially with our business. Actions aren't really what's creating the results for you. It's what we're thinking and feeling while taking those actions. So are you taking time to see how you feel when you're reaching out to a sampler? What are you saying? What are you asking? Are you caring about them? Are you being transformational? People will feel it. They will absolutely feel it. So the first step is to become aware of those red light stories that you have going on around the actions in your business, and then get it out of your head by writing it down and see it for what it is. Whatever it is, see it for what it is. Again, it's information for you, not good or bad, information. The good or bad comes from what action are you taking afterwards. Red light stories are just fear-based thinking. That's it. I always go back to the fact that every action in our lives comes from one of two places: fear or love. That's it. If you boil every single thing down, it comes from fear or love. So if you're taking action, but it's fueled by stress and fear, you're not going to grow. So if you're looking at your auto bonus tracker and you're like, oh my gosh, it's a week left of the month and I'm not even close, I've got to work. You're working out of fear instead of out of love. You're working out of a space of just being stressed and scared about what's going to happen. And you'll achieve short-term success. You oftentimes will hit that rank and you'll be like, woo, I hit it. And then you're going to do it all over again the next month. It's going to be this vicious cycle every single month. You'll hit the getaway. You'll work your butt off and hit the getaway, and you'll be on the beach in Mexico or Jamaica or wherever, stressing about, am I going to hit the next getaway? Because the result was based on fear. I got to earn this. So managing your mind around those red light stories, see it what it's for, and then take action from love. And love is just being present, guys. That's all it is. Love is just being present in the moment, knowing where all of your actions are coming from, your words are coming from, your whatever you're doing within your business. It's just being present in that. It's not just results. It's being present in what you're doing. Most people are stuck in the fear-based thinking. Think about it. Most people are either thinking about their past and living in regret, or they're thinking about the future and they're scared and fearful and have a ton of anxiety around the future. So many people are living in this fear-based mentality that is no one really deep down wants to live there. So if you're hustling harder, you're never present. You're never going to get out of that fear-based thought process. So we have to slow down. We need to journal. We need to have a gratitude journal and being thankful every single day. And then we need to slow down as we work to process. Am I being intentional in my business? Am I slowing down to be intentional? Transformation is an inside job. I wish I could do it for everybody. I can't. So transformation, you have to do. That comes from inside. So once you've recognized this and your red light stories are present, and you can once you've recognized this and you realize what your red light stories are, they become present to you, then you can show up in love. Let me share really quick with you a red light story that I had for a long time that I struggled with. And I mean, I stayed at that same, once you hit the 200K rank, but every month, I want to, grow. And so I stayed at that same, 250 to 300 every single month for months because of a red light story that was playing around in my head. I can't do this without an active upline. I'm going to struggle in this without an active upline. So let me just share with you so you understand that I do come from a pretty deep place of understanding boundaries and how red light stories can play such a significant role in this business if we don't get them under control. I ran hard my upline and I were running hard for 200K. I hit that 200K in 8 months, and we were working. We showed up at everything. We were on every call. We were on stage at Thrivepalooza. We were at every lifestyle getaway. We were doing it all. And then the train hit. And my upline made a very, very, very poor life choice. And everything spiraled out of control. Everything. My life spiraled out of control. Her life spiraled out of control. Both of our businesses spiraled out of control. And in that moment, I went, I can't do this. How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? And I was a wreck. It was 3 years of every single week therapy, boundaries classes. I think I did 8 boundaries classes, like on top of the therapy. So if anyone knows these things, I promise you it's me. And to make matters even worse, to add the cherry on top of all of this, it was my sister. My upline was my blood. And then to even add on to it, to create even a bigger red light story, is my parents took her side and poo-pooed the business. Were not proud of me. They have not said one thing about me being in the magazine, being on every Thrivepalooza stage, earning the Millionaire Award, anything, nothing. So every piece of me could have taken that story of, I needed an upline. My upline isn't active. My upline treated me like crap. I mean, she turned me into compliance so many times, guys, I can't even count. If I wanted to take that on, none of us would be here right now. But I chose to stop in the moment over a 3-year process. I mean, this isn't easy. Again, it's not easy. Over a process of becoming clear on what these red light stories are, becoming clear on, those are her issues. Those are my parents' issues. They are not mine. They're not my team. They're not my customers' issues. They're their issues. And that red light story has been written out. I can't even tell you how many times it's been typed out. It's been talked out to death, to get it out, to process it. And the growth-oriented action that's come from it is every single day, right? Like every single day, there's been growth-oriented actions of me saying, I am not going to listen to those red light stories that are going on in my head. You won't understand it until you do it. It's just, you just can't. Like, I talk to people all the time. I have been trying to talk to all of you little by little on the phone. And a lot of you, I don't know, like a lot of you, I've never met in person. You're newer to the business. You're way down my line. And so we haven't had a lot of communication. So I don't really know you. Some of you I've done a whole lot of life with over a whole lot of years, which has been awesome. But a lot of you I don't know. And so some of you have gone through a lot of stuff, and some of you have traveled my journey with me. And so you know how difficult it's been. But really, until you really get in and figure out what your red light stories, and your red light story may not be as massive as mine. I hope it's not as massive as mine. You're not going to understand it until you actually go through it, until you actually take your red light stories and write them down and create the goals and do the growth-oriented goals from that red light story. So recognizing the red light story, getting out of your head, and taking action. That is the key. That if you're just going to write the red light story down and you're going to process through it and not take any action, there will be no results. There will be no growth. There will be no business growth. You've done a nice job realizing the red light stories, but until you take action, there's not going to be any growth. The gift of failure helps you grow. Like, it's really kind of cool if you think about, gosh, I failed at this, but I'm growing from it. If you're going to sit back and fail in fear and then be fearful to take any action because you failed, who's won? Absolutely nobody. You have lost, and no one wants to lose. So you've got to step out of that fear. You have to write down those red light stories, figure out the growth-oriented action that is from that red light story and do it. So if your red light story is, I am like mine is one that I struggle with all the time, is I am not good at sharing the opportunity. I can get customers left and right. Left and right, I can get customers, but I am not good at sharing the opportunity. If I continue to tell myself that, that has become my red light story. Therefore, I never talk about the opportunity. I have changed that red light story. I've recognized it. And so now, if you've noticed, I am talking about the opportunity all the time in my social media. I'm talking about it face to face with people, which is super uncomfortable for me, but growth is coming from that. Growth is massively coming from that. So that is where the transformation comes. The transformation in your life, the transformation in your business comes from recognizing the red light story, processing it, creating the growth-oriented action, and taking action. So that's your homework for today, is to figure out what your red light stories are. And then, figure out what your red light stories are, and then figure out how they can become growth-oriented actions. So you may only have one or two. I've been working on this for a while, so I don't have a ton, but some of you may have a lot. And as I've talked to several of you on the phone over the past couple of days, several of you I know have a lot that you need to process. There's a lot of red light stories, and this business can create those pretty rapidly. So figuring out what your red light story is, that's the homework. Write down those red light stories that you have been telling yourself, write them down, get them out, then create the goal-oriented action, and then do it. And so I want you to, you can either share in the group or in the group chat, or you can come and share directly with me, but I need to know at least one red light story you're telling yourself and the growth-oriented action. And I want to know whether if you've done it, like the goal, like let's say, I can't talk to people, and you go ahead and you have soccer practice tonight, and you get into conversations with two other moms. Send me that. My red light story was that I struggle with talking to people. And so I really put myself out of my comfort zone. My goal-oriented action was to talk to people tonight at my kids' soccer. And I sat between two moms and I engaged them in conversation, and I'm creating a relationship with them. Hooray. Those are the things that we want to celebrate, guys. Yes, everyone wants to celebrate the ranks, and everybody wants to celebrate the getaways and all of this. But the real big hurrah, the real big confetti needs to come with those type of growth-oriented actions. That's what's going to be transformational. That's when you're going to see growth within yourself. And then what happens after growth within yourself? Growth in your business. So I'm going to let you guys go. Good luck with this. I can't wait to see what comes through. Please remember that you can call me or text me anytime. I'm not kidding when I say, please put my number in your speed dial. I want to hear from you. I will get through getting on the phone with every single person. For those of you who didn't hear or don't know, my daughter's graduating. We have our graduation party on Saturday, and we have family coming in starting tomorrow. So I am trying to get everybody on the books to talk to, but it's going to take just a little bit of time to do that. So if you can, if you need me before we actually get settled in to talk, if you need me, text me and we'll jump on the phone and we'll get going. I want you to find the success within yourself through growth. That is the goal. So have a great day, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye.